Hello, we are getting started with week 10. So last week you spent some time working on an outline for your research paper, which is writing project 4. And just a reminder, every week we're working on assignments that will help you work towards creating your research paper, the writing project number 4. So the assignments are designed to build upon one another, and I hope that you've noticed that. So we started working with things like a thesis statement, and then we move forward with an outline. And this week we are going to spend some time looking at paragraph structure and essay structure in order to help us work on structural and organizational patterns in our essay to ensure that we're communicating with our audience effectively. So let's go ahead and pull up the Labor Number 4 project handout. And again, just a reminder, as always, we work on this project from weeks 8 to 13, so we are in week 10. And this is a description of what the final labor will look like. So be sure that you pay attention to the length and the required number of sources and all of those things. I've given you kind of a guideline to follow. So let's go ahead and scroll down to week 10. Sorry, I went way too far. So this week we are going to do some reading about paragraphs, and we're going to do some reading about moving from outlining to drafting, because that's where we're thinking about going. And then there is a video, which is a kind of lecture from me about paragraph and essay structure as a whole. So we have an organization and reflection discussion, and then our assignment due Sunday is the argument counter-argument assignment. So let's look at that, what that looks like on Moodle. So our discussion due Wednesday is a discussion that asks us to look at an essay that we've written for our class this semester and review your paragraph structure. On a document or in your discussion post, copy down the first sentence of each paragraph and then paste your sentences into the discussion post. Then write a 200 to 300 word response that reflects and analyzes your organization. So what we're doing here, our first sentences of our essay should typically be the topic sentences. So they should all connect to each other and give us a good idea of what the overall essay is about. If we copy and paste the first sentences of each paragraph into a document, we can see whether that's happened or not. So this is a really good strategy to use to reflect on your organization, but it's also a really good strategy you can use when you're working on developing your essay. Take out those first sentence topic sentences and see if they do connect to one another. If not, then you may need to revise your topic sentence. So that's what we're thinking about for our discussion forum this week. For the assignment that's due Sunday, the argument counter-argument assignment, I want you to consider what the opposing point of view might say about your topic. So I've given you an example here. We know that when we're trying to be persuasive, we have to remember that our audience also has positions on our subject. They may not be good reasons, but they have some motivation for thinking or feeling the way that they do. So for example, I still don't like eating at Jack in the Box because a friend of mine had really bad experience there a couple years ago in another state. And it's not a very rational reason, I know, but it still does shape my behavior when it comes to fast food. So if someone says to me, let's go to Jack in the Box, they love their hamburgers, I'm going to be like, let's not, and suggest something else. So I'd like you to visit this article of Anticipating Opposition and read the content here. And then work a little bit with the chart, build your own pro-con chart using your thesis statement as the proposition. And you can create a list or a chart, whatever works best for you. But I want you to look and see what are some of the ideas from a different perspective of mine. This will help you to evaluate different opinions and to address the counter-argument in your essay, which we know ultimately persuades people more. So that assignment is due Sunday by 11:59 p.m. And as always, our labor logs are due once per week. You have to have 12 of 16 to maintain your B in the class. So please be sure to check with that. And if you want to see where you're at in the class, remember you can always click the grades button. My report doesn't show very much because I haven't been submitting work because I'm not a very good student that way. But your report We'll have a whole bunch of information here. Remember, if it says satisfactory, on time, that means you're awesome, you've got the work in. If you have a lot of missed or no submissions, those are problems per our labor agreement or labor contract, so be sure to address those things. And if you scroll all the way down, you can see how much additional labor you've done and how many labor logs you have. I check labor logs once a week usually, so if you don't see the most recent labor log you turned in, don't fret. I will get to it, I just haven't checked it yet. As always, we have our weekly student Zoom hours. So Mondays, you can meet with me privately, and then Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we have some open sessions. So please feel free to join in if you have questions or want guidance, and I hope you have a great day.